it's Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Friday the 13th. It's a very superstitious day in America, but it's even more of an intense day because Mercury today, which is in Taurus, is going to align with Venus in Taurus. This alignment really merges the way that you think about and value the people, the relationships, the significant partnerships, the unions that you're currently in. Do they have longevity? Are they stable? Do they ground your energy? Some of you are going to be thinking about, this type of thought process is still in reflection as well. So I think for some of you, I think what you're doing is taking a look at these types of relationships as a whole. If you were to look at your life and you were to see the patterns of relationships, of partnerships, of unions, what do you value most if you were to accumulate all your partners and put them into like one partner? Like, this partner made great money and treated me really good, but I wasn't really attracted to him. This partner over here was, I was crazy in love with them, but they were a mess. Like you are thinking about, if you take a look at your life as a whole, what do you value most about all these significant bonds, unions, and partnerships? What do you value most on a tangible level? What type of lifestyle do you want to live? How much money do you think you deserve? We, throughout life, attract people that either have us set the bar higher or have us, set our bar at a realistic level. Especially when we're talking, when we go through this time frame right about now, we make our choices very, very realistic. They're very grounded. They're a lot more, they can produce a lot more tangible results. When we're in this reflective cycle like this, we apply wisdom and we take a look at the karmic cycles and the karmic lessons. And when we look back at the past, it provides us with the wisdom of how to move forward. And I believe that some of us are caught in this kind of limbo. And I believe that as we merge our thoughts with what we deeply want, the pleasure that we associate with it, the value that we place on it, and with the amount of, we can take a look at it and we can say, oh, that's going to be something that if I make this investment, it has the possibility to give me an excellent return in the long run. We're not talking about short run energy. That would be like, I don't know, like an Aries energy that's very immediate. This is, yes, it has a lot to do with the way that you were programmed as a child, what you settled for. I believe we're ending some of that mess that was created for some of us as children, as young adults. When we go through our lives, how we're formed at a very young age is often how we kind of react to life even older. So I believe for some of this is reassessing what we value, reassessing do we value stability more than we value fireworks? Do we value a stability and a mindset more than we need to continuously pleasure seek? It's your own journey. It's up to you which one you identify with, but it's something that we're deeply thinking through. We're deciphering, we're processing. We're a processor right now. And because this alignment is associated with a planet that's in retrograde, what I think is very significant to understand is a lot of this is something that we are going to be methodically thinking about, but maybe not actually ready to take action on. Taurus energy is a very slow moving energy. It does a lot of work, I think, hidden and behind the scenes. There's a lot more that goes into the decisions that a Taurus makes than I think people truly deeply understand. There's a lot of dedication once their mind is made up to proceed. And the determination will make them stubborn as a bull. That's why they get that reputation. So the decisions that you make contemplating the past and moving forward, you are going to be devoted to. But there is a time period where you're deciphering and making this decision, and you're setting your value, meaning I deserve a life that's like this. You know, I'm worth this. You know, these are the thoughts that you're going to be having in this event. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I'll be right back to tell you how this is going to affect your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. Hi, dear Aries. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury aligning with Venus in Taurus. Now, this energy is very personal to you. It is all about how you value the way that you think. Now, for some of you, what's extremely important is some of you are very, very fixed on opinions and mindsets, and you can be hypercritical and judgmental of others. One thing that is very apparent in this energy is maybe a significant partnership, a bond, maybe what you idealize in a significant partnership and bond, maybe reflecting back on these areas in your life, is starting to get you to understand that maybe you need to develop a different perspective. You are being met, your ruler is in opposition at the time of this alignment. Saturn and Mars are conjunct, and they are involved in a squaring off conversation with Jupiter and Neptune. This is about facing facts. You know, this is about, you know, not getting so stuck in a belief system that you don't see the reality of the consequences of those mindsets. You know, this is about getting control. And then it's about valuing yourself enough to let go in energy and have faith, and to develop a belief system that whatever is revealed through this reflective cycle is for your own good, because you deserve more. There's something about this energy to me that I feel that you deserve more. I believe that you are blocking and standing rigidly in your own belief system. This is something you have to start submitting a little bit more to. You have to become dedicated to raising the bar in your life. For some of you, it's like, oh, I went through all this crap in my relationship or relationships in the past. So you know what? I'm not moving forward with anybody. I don't want anybody. I don't want significant partners. I don't want unions. I isolate myself. For some of you caught in that belief system, what you may discover is that why? You deserve happiness. You deserve a significant partnership that truly, deeply understands you, that can elevate your experience, that you can walk through life with, and the two of you are partnerships and unions that have this wonderful exchange of ideas and intimacy and love. There is something, I think, in your mind, a ritual, a routine, and it has something to do with the way that you seek pleasure that I don't think serves you moving forward. But you have to go through this reflective cycle to decipher that. What comes to mind to me is Pluto right now is in retrograde. And this is very much a psychological process for you. And so I believe that for some of you, there is a cycle, a way that you stand in the way of your own personal power, the way you maintain it. It's like, you know what, I'm vulnerable, I'll defend it. You know, it's a very defensive, opinionated, relentless energy, but how much pleasure does that really bring you? What Venus, this alignment with Mercury, is you got to take a look at your life and look at the idealistic portions of your life and idealize some of these partners that you had. I mean, there were some very good moments with some of these partners that are from your past or in your life right now. Take a look at the idyllic part of that relationship and where did it steer off, and kind of look at the big picture and analyze it and see where you've established patterns that in some ways does not provide you with what you deeply value in your significant partnerships and your unions, in the way that you think. Primarily, let's talk about the way you think. We've got the elevated mind and the lower mind merging in this energy for you specifically. So you're setting the bar on what you value. So be mindful of what you're locking and loading on in this energy, because that's that squaring off energy. That's that resistance. I feel like you're resistant to see the wisdom of this reflective cycle. It's okay. The way that I look at energy is if I'm in resistance, whatever I resist persists, and it persists so much that I get pissed and I want to move away from it. So this resistant cycle that you're in, I think is highly beautiful. It's very elevating, and resist it if that's what you feel inclined to do, because then that will give you some answers in an indirect way. Then submitting to faith and kind of floating along the cloud and going with it and taking off on this trine energy. Maybe you're going to have to resist it to really take a look at the pros and cons of moving away from that. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi dear Taurus, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Venus and Taurus aligning with Mercury and Taurus. Now, this is a very significant energy source for you. For one, your ruler's involved in it, and for two, all the energy is in Taurus. So you are deeply identifying with this process and what is this reflective cycle that you're in. You are taking a look at what pleases you, what you value most, what you deeply identify with. For some of you, this reflective cycle is having you compare some idealistic areas in your life in your past. For some of you, this is how do you value self? How do you create a sense of self that you're proud of? For some of you, have you sold yourself short, and have you stood in your own way? For some of you, this is realigning yourself with the sense of self that you value you, that you're setting the bar here and not here anymore. That you deserve everything. You deserve pleasure. You deserve happiness. You deserve to be understood. You deserve to share and exchange ideas where it is not in a combative environment, where you are received well. You deserve to grow and flourish and be happy. This is a pleasurable time. This is a reflection on pleasure. Significantly, if Venus is involved. This could be also about, how do I take a look at myself? Am I happy with my body? Am I happy with the way I look? Have I lowered my standards in those areas? Some of you could be re-identifying your sense of self and taking a look in the mirror and thinking, I don't really go for that. And then for some of you, it's taking a risk. It's moving away from. It's valuing yourself enough to say, you know what? I'm going to take a look at this from the big picture, and I'm not going to stay stuck. I'm going, the ease, the flow of energy, the harmonious flow of energy that your ruler is in during this beautiful event is this beautiful train that's being pushed by Neptune and Pisces to elevate, to get you closer to what you hope for, get you closer to what you idealize, get you closer to the dreams that you once had about yourself, what you wanted, what you deeply identify with. It's pushing you toward that. It's pushing you. What you're trying to do is to release yourself from such a conservative mindset that you don't take the risk, that you don't invest in this a commitment to something. You need to make a commitment, to make a change, to make a choice, to something that you want, and you need to be selfish enough to do it. Now, in the past, what I'm thinking is that some of you may have been programmed to, I don't know, to more go with the flow, to gain acceptance. Some of you may have had to suppress what you wanted. You need to make a big change. The reality is that there's a change that's necessary and the timing is right to do it. Now, you say make a change when it's a reflective cycle. Well, if you're making a change to move away from the past, it's an excellent time. It's supported by Saturn. Saturn is quincunxing this event for you. If you're not embracing what you're being guided to do, what you identify with, then you're going to quincunx and you're going to be met with resistance. And there's going to be an emphasis on what you need to change. If for some of you, you are embracing the energy, the harmonious flow of energy, you're going to elevate your mind and you're going to be guided and you're going to go in that direction and you're going to find the flow of the energy beautiful. It's going to be pleasurable. It's just going to be easy. It's going to be harmonious. Right? It's going to be grounding. You're going to feel safe and secure and very sustained moving forward if you choose to go with the energy that you're being guided to. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading, dear Gemini, for Mercury in Taurus, which is in retrograde, aligning with Venus in Taurus, which is going to be conjunct the Sun, your ruler. So we have a lot of energy having to do with karma. Karma places significant or karmic lessons, life lessons, lessons that stand the test of time, wisdom, deep wisdom, lessons learned, I think, is all of what this 12th house work can represent. You know, if you look at your life at the very end of your life, what you find is that you probably would have done things a lot different. You're in a very reflective cycle. What happens when you get in 12th house work, because for you, for the early Geminis, this is the birthday month. And for the late Geminis, of course, the next month is the birthday month. But this is more like for the early Geminis who caught in the 12th house work. I mean, I deeply believe that this reflective cycle, and this will go, you guys will, this will still carry into some of the later Geminis. But what this has to do with is aligning your desires and the value you place on those said desires with how good it makes you feel. This is very intuitive energy. 12th house work is a very intuitive energy. You have been guided for a year to make some of these decisions. You have been guided for a year to come to this conclusion in energy. And what it's saying to you is, if you reflect back on the past, I mean, if you're really honest about your relationships and why you are right where you are right now, what guided you to be here? What were the significant lessons learned? Why? There is a message that reflection in the past, this reflective cycle, you've got at this point, you've got 5 planets in retrograde at the time that you are reflecting your yearly cycle. There's a message about what accumulated your energy to get you right where you are. Who are the significant partners in your life? Why are they there? What guided you to choose them and to walk away from others maybe that year? This is all very, very significant information that you need to decipher. Is this action-oriented energy? I don't believe so. But what it does will ground your choices. It will make you think about the future. It will make you think about who you want in your future. It will make you think about longevity and stability. You know, you are a very unstable source of energy. It makes you beautiful in your own special way. But right now, what the universe is trying to do is ground Gemini energy. Give it a source to cling to. So when the air takes it away in some thought or in some new perspective or in some new mindset, there's always a source that keeps it somewhat on the ground. That's the source I think you've been missing for a while, and that's the source I think you need to reflect upon. For some of you, the past could make you idealistic, could make you idealize a path that you should have went down or could have went down. For some of you, what I believe is there's a lot of significant changes that are going on in the way that you move forward and the way, like where you want to live, the type of lifestyle you want to have. The path you want to walk down. Like a lot's being asked of you right now in this reflective cycle. This is very intense energy. It is, however, connected to what your heart desires, your deepest desire. So to me, the sun is directing you in the way that you need to shine in significant partnerships and unions, in the way that you value those significant partnerships and unions. Bonds, significant bonds. It also helps you live the life that you think you deserve, and it puts your thoughts, the pleasure that you seek, the what you feel you deserve, and the way that you're being directed by your core is all coming together. You're coming together. This is an accumulative ending. This has been a journey. This year was a journey. The cumulative ending is what? That's what you're going to be deciphering in this energy. It's a very beautiful energy, but what I love about it is there's an idealistic component. There's a very hopeful component. There's a very harmonious flow of energy that's being boosted. And you're being released from a karmic cycle. You're starting to walk down the right path. You're starting to stabilize your energy. This is very big for a Gemini. This is a very important time for you. Don't get lost. Saturn will redirect you in recollection, in idealizing relationships that perhaps were not as idealistic as you once remembered them, or the path that you thought you were going to go down, you're now idealizing. Don't get lost in this reflective cycle, because your thoughts can easily get redirected. And I'm not saying that for some of you it is a redirection in thoughts, but be mindful that you're not idealizing that path, that you're very, very realistic about what you're looking at, because if you're not, Saturn's going to go in there and going to take care of business. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, dear Cancers. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury and Taurus aligning with Venus and Taurus. Now, when I did the monthly readings, and I never got to them, and I kind of tried to do them in the full moon reading, tried to give you guys your monthly aspects. Today's a significant day for you, dear Cancers. And the significance of this day is not only because Mercury and Taurus is going to align with Venus and Taurus. It's not only about that, and it is the Friday the 13th, so it's a very superstitious day. But it's also a day that the moon is guiding you into a different, the moon goes through, to me, about 4 significant phases. And you are on that phase where you're from the new moon, you're kind of in between the new moon and the full moon. And so there is a point where you take the new moon's energy and you're moving toward the full moon's energy, and you kind of accumulate the data in between, and you're like, okay, where is that thought process now? So today, I think it's very significant also because your energy is involved in this grand fire trine, because the moon's going to be in Leo during this time. It's involved in this fire trine. To me, this suggests that this is a day of taking action, of hoping and dreaming and wishing but also thinking that you deserve what you want. You deserve to have a bountiful harvest. The value that you place on what you deserve, you can't get lost in doubt, and you can't get lost in the past. Well, in the past, you know what? Every time I invested in hope, I was suppressed by disappointment. You're all fire in this energy. So you're confident. If you let this energy take you in the direction that I deeply believe that you should go, what happened on the new moon, cling to the mindset, the hopeful mindset that you had on the new moon. Because to me, the energy is still hopeful. Now, is there something that you need to contemplate in this reflective cycle? Yes. I think some of the energy that I feel deeply about you is that it's like you're resisting hope. You're resisting the feeling that you deserve, that people value you, and that you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be in a bond, a significant partnership in you, and you have something significant to give. You're valued. You're valued. And in the past, you may have felt like you weren't valued in friendships. You weren't valued in your friendships. You weren't valued in your friendships, but you weren't valued in like social situations where I think you placed a higher value on what you had to say and what you had to give than you feel like you did. I believe that you refused to join in social situations, because I believe that what this gets down to is the heart of the matter, and that is there's some sort of insecurity in the depths of your soul. There's something you're identifying deeply with the value that you're placing on these significant areas, and I believe that this is all about setting the bar for what you deeply need and want, and then what you feel like you deserve. So during this process, there's a vulnerability in this alignment to me. If I get too hopeful, I'm going to get disappointed. If I invest in those friends over there, if I put myself out into the world, if I join something, history could repeat itself. The past could repeat itself, and I could be disappointed, and I could be hurt. There's a vulnerability in this energy, but there's also an extreme desire to take action and to move away from this thought process. Because I think at this point, that there is something special about you, and that you are a valuable soul, and that you do deserve everything that everybody else does. And you know what? The past is the past. It happened. It's done. It's over. It's important for us to take away the wisdom of those beautiful cycles that we went through. But we are being released from these cycles. They no longer serve us. But for me, when I look at your energy, because Chiron's conjuncting this experience for you, this is to make you see that the bigger perspective. Don't look at it like I'm comparing my life to that and I'm still stuck there. That's a very narrow-minded way to look at your life. There's a bigger picture here. There's faith. There's hope. There's the belief system that you're completing these cycles, and that you get to be healed, and that there's warmth and beauty and desire, and you deserve all of it. You get to feel that way if you want to. A choice is yours. A trine can go one of two ways. It can either make you self-destructive, overconfident, argumentative, opinionated. I can make you an unpleasant person to be around because you're feeling vulnerable. It can make you that way. Or it can make you and you'll square out and you'll quincunx out, or you can get some lift off in this energy. You can get it. This is all about boosting your self-confidence. This is about you. What do you hope for? What do you want? What do you value? Go for it. You deserve it. Period. I don't care what the past has said to you. This is a reflective cycle. It's not a definition of you anymore. It's just the old census though. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading, dear Leos, for Mercury in Taurus, which is in retrograde, aligning with Venus in Taurus. Now, the sun is going to be conjunct this uplifting experience for you. So I believe this is a huge energy boost for you. I believe what this is some form of life-altering experience where you're really going to start moving away or making a big change or thinking about making a change and become devoted to an idea. And setting the bar here instead of down here for what you deeply desire, what you want, what you value most. And you're going to be relentless in this energy. This energy to me is, you know what's really powerful about this? Chiron is in here and it wants to change things for the better. It wants to give you, it wants to help you grow. It wants to help you regenerate an area in your life. I believe this has everything to do with the career life path destiny that you're choosing. So when I say career life path destiny, I mean the path that you are choosing for yourself, what you identify with, what brings forth your authentic sense of self, right? This isn't about complying with, I don't know, like maybe working a 9-to-5 job that does nothing for you. This is about the creative flow of energy, that authentic purpose that you were put here on this earth. For some of you, that could be as simple as being an amazing mother and devoting yourself to, maybe having a child, or maybe starting a family, or maybe, really directing your energy on a creative process, the birth of something. For some of you, this could be as big as, I am going to start my own business. These are the things I've been thinking about. This is in the past I thought about doing this. I haven't really had the cojones, but right now I'm feeling pretty spunky. I might revisit that idea. All very powerful things to do. When we have Venus align with Mercury, a couple things come to mind. Money, recognition, definitely come to mind. What you need to be compensated for what you're worth. Now, could that mean that you go in and you ask for a raise, especially if this has been a raise that's been promised in the past? Why not? Is that appropriate to do in the retrograde? Absolutely. If they've been promising you a raise forever and this is a past-based promise, yeah, go ask for your raise. I think you deserve it. You do. And then if you don't get it, then maybe you need to revisit an idea where you go on into a business on your own and you bring forth your skills and you create compensation that you deserve. These ideas are very, very important. I think what's equally important is the fact that this has a lot to do with emotional support as well as physical support. So for some of you, this is about, you are looking at you're hopeful, right? This is the dream. This is the energy that connects you with the faith that there is more to be had. You deserve more than where you're at right now. This is about making proper connections with people. Maybe some people from your past are reconnecting you. Maybe there's some thoughts about the past, or maybe some things from the past are resurfacing and providing you with an opportunity for growth. Maybe somebody from the past, a significant partnership, may be that energy that connects you with a career opportunity, or maybe there's some sort of past-based person that comes back from your life that elevates your life and makes you a little bit more hopeful. I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful energy, a great alignment for you. This type of energy is very intuitive. I would follow my gut anytime I get in Taurus energy, I really, really deeply feel like our barometer goes off significantly a little bit more. And in water energy, I think fire we're a little too determined in. But when I see Taurus energy, I always think of just all five senses are directing us. We're very elevated. We're very, very aware, you know, of what our body and what the universe is trying to tell us. It's a beautiful energy for you. I would not get ego-oriented in this and allow your emotions to make decisions. That's probably the only reservation that I would like to disclose to you. This isn't about ego. This isn't about the need for attention, for affirmation. Don't get caught up in that. That's really super unattractive when Leos get really caught up in me, and just look at me and pay attention to me. It just really turns me off. But if you're creative and you shine in that energetic, lively way that you do, then you don't need to do all that other stuff to get the attention you desire. So just be mindful that you're not coming off a bit too intense, that you're not so fixed emotionally that you're making an emotional based decision that you could regret. That's the only warning that I have. But anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, dear Virgos. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury in Taurus aligning with Venus in Taurus. Now, this experience, I think, is very important because, of course, it's your ruler. Your ruler is going to be conjunct the sun as well. So let's talk about these three energies. First of all, Mercury is still it's in Taurus, but it's still in retrograde. So you're really, really reflective and thinking about the past and what is the perspective that you have of the past, of some of the things that you hoped for in your past, like some of the things that you used to deeply value. You're going to be taking a look at that, and you're going to be taking a look, well, do I value it right now? Is it something that I want moving forward? Is it someone I want? When I look back at my past, you know, I used to really idealize that partnership, that significant bond, that union. And you know what? I just don't anymore. It doesn't have the same pull that it used to on me. There's a release of something for some of you. Now, I want to tell you that this alignment is significant because it's in a really powerful energy that is asking you to ground some of your choices and to think about longevity. These are very, very lovely things for you to think about. You deeply identify with these concepts. This is why it's gonna open you up and broaden your perspectives in the way that you think about the past. It's almost going to be like if some of you were in a lot of pain about the past, or if you lost something significant in your past that you once deeply valued. I believe that you're going to be able to look at that kind of from a different perspective and think, well, if the universe took that from me, then that wasn't really that valuable. There's the faith that you established, the belief system that what's meant to be will be, and if I'm meant to have it, I'll have it, you know, because I'm elevated enough to understand that concept. I think for some of you, the energy that's at the base of this beautiful, gorgeous Earth trine is really pushing you away from repeating cycles that no longer serve you. You know, these karmic lessons are ending, and it's almost like you get a push in the right direction. And that push is away from karmic cycles. You know, that push is toward making a very, very realistic choices. What I think is deeply important is at the top of this gorgeous harmonious flow of energy is Jupiter in Virgo in your energy. I think the repetitive thoughts, the way that you think, what you identify with, there was a repetition that I think was not all that ideal. you know? But I believe you get a shove in the right direction from the universe right about now. And it's really trying to say, go that direction. Now, some of you could resist and fall into past programming and to do what you've always done, because that's what you were taught as a child to do. So you have this habitual way of thinking. And for some of you could resist the shove. You could be like, well, you know what? I know you're shoving me there, but I'm freaking determined to be here. I'm just going to stay in the background. I'm not going to make any changes. I'm not going to do anything that could, change my life for the good, because you know what? That doesn't feel comfortable. Well, moving forward never does. Making big changes they never do. So I think for some of you, what could stand in your way is this, is your ego about your past. You have to be very honest in this time frame with yourself. This is a reflective cycle. Nobody needs to know what's being revealed in this cycle but you. This is an interpersonal reflective cycle. If the realization is, wow, I was kind of really not aligning with the best stuff. Who the hell cares that it was a past mistake? It doesn't. Those mistakes are not mistakes. They're errors in judgment. Errors in judgment, what they do is they show us what not to do. So we change the way that we think. And we develop a brand new perspective, and we open our mind up, and we align the way we think with what we feel like we deserve. The value that we place on gratification, on happiness. We don't have to be these people that just selflessly give ourselves, devoting ourselves to these causes and never getting a return. Yes, we're healers. I believe that every Virgo is a healer. I believe that if you have any significant energy, especially your moon, your sun, I think if you have Venus, I would say that those are the three biggies, or even a rising in Virgo, you're a healer. You're going to selflessly give until you got nothing more to give. And it's a relentless energy. But you need to identify your sense of self-worth, and you need to set the value at, I'm not going to endlessly give something that has no return. Like, I deserve this compensation. I deserve this result. And it really deeply roots what you identify with something I think is a little bit more balanced and something that's a little bit more positive. I think this is a beautiful, uplifting experience for you. I believe that you're on a journey of self-discovery. I believe that you're opening up and broadening your perspective about some of the habitual ways that you think and stand in your own way. And then what you're doing is applying some elevated thinking to decipher how to get out of these habitual ways of thinking. This is also a wonderful time to idealize what you want your body to look like, what you want, how you want to present yourself, how you want people to interpret you. That is great energy, because what that will do is allow you to be an excellent problem solver, Jupiter to expand opportunities in, maybe I get a discount on a gym that's right next to my house. Oh, I never noticed it before, but now there's a discount because Jupiter's direct. Or maybe I want some plastic surgery, and because Virgos are very into their identity a lot of the times, and so maybe it's I want to look a certain way. I used to look this way, and now I don't. Like, there's a lot of realization. You're not idealizing the sense of self. You're realistically, critically analyzing the sense of self, but you're also valuing yourself enough to make some significant changes in your mindsets and in your rituals and in your routines and in anything that does not give you what you deeply value. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, dear Libra. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Venus in Taurus aligning with Mercury in Taurus. Now, this is very significant for you. This alignment is your ruler. And your ruler is aligning with Mercury in Taurus, and Mercury in Taurus is in retrograde. It is conjunct the sun. Let's talk about these three energies for you. Okay, first of all, I want to say that this entire event is involved in a beautiful, uplifting Earth trine that is being pushed forward and away from cycles that no longer serve you. So if that is a huge beneficial energy to really cling to and to enjoy. This energy, I believe, is all about making changes that have the possibility for long-term enjoyment. Meaning you deserve to have what you want, what you value. And I believe that for some of you, this is about taking a look at the past, seeing where you may have settled, seeing where may you have lowered the standard of what you value. And you are aligning out, and you're going to make a change. You're going to regenerate. You're going to take a look at it from a different perspective. And I think what's significant about this process, and I believe that this is a necessary process, because if you do not do this, so here's the energy that can slap you in your little butt, is we have this alignment conjunct with Saturn. So to me, there's a habitual way that you think, or a habitual way that you communicate, that where you're not authentic in, where you are mutable, too mutable in. You're too mutable. You need to firm up and fix these beliefs. You need to firm up and defend what you want. Firm up and become decisive. Sometimes when you get caught in energy that's past and future, you don't want to make any freaking decision. You're confused, right? There's pros, cons, there's lots of information coming in. You're very intellectually deciphering. Energy takes a lot of work for you. And so you're like, oh my God, I'm inundated right now, and I don't even know what to do with my life. Well, you know what? I think you're spiritually guided to make changes. I think you definitely know what to do with your life. And it's time to fixate and firm up. Taurus energy is fixed. It's stubborn as the bull once it fixates on something. It's determined and devoted to those decisions. And it is, I believe, we need to move away from the past. The forward energy, Venus, the past, a thought process, right? So I believe that you need to, this ritualistic way, I believe it's almost like maybe a passive aggressive way of getting what you want. Maybe you need to be more forward and honest with yourself, as well as your partnerships, your unions, your significant bonds. And you need to start making some changes that generate growth and that give you emotional support and physical support, and that you deeply value. I mean, I believe that you need to get what you want. This energy is just very simplistic. Let's just get what we want, and I want it to be a long-term outcome. I don't want this to be something short. I don't want this to be like an immediate satisfaction, but doesn't have any long-term return. This is absolutely not the energy to think like that. I believe that if you're thinking in this very short-term environment, you're going to Quinn comes out by Saturn. Saturn is asking you to take a look at the bigger picture. It's asking you to take a look at the karmic cycles that you've been in. And it's asking you to move away from them. There's rituals, there's routines, there's something that you do habitually that the universe is guiding you away from. It's lifting you away from it. It's propelling you forward. And everybody's like, well, how could you be in forward energy? We're in retrograde energy, dude. No. Retrograde energy is moving you away from the past. It's considering the past. It's redirecting you away from the past. It's a reflective cycle. But it by no means means that you shouldn't make any decisions. It just means that you shouldn't make new decisions. You should make decisions about moving away from things that no longer serve you in your past. That's what this energy is about. It's a beautiful energy. The only thing that I would definitely warn you about when you're making these choices, when you're stay away from immediate gratification. We're talking about generating gratification and valuing the long-term result. What do you see 20 years from now or 10 years from now? You got to ask yourself that significant question. I think you need to stop being so hopeful and be very, very realistic and release your ego. Be mindful that your ego is not making decisions, because this is a very elevated way of thinking. you know? And sometimes when our ego wants what it wants, it just gets indulgent and then it settles for the immediate morsel that's right in front of it. It doesn't commit to, it doesn't devote your energy. It doesn't desire a long-term growth cycle where there's the ability to grow and flourish in the long run. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, dear Scorpios. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury in Taurus aligning with Venus in Taurus. Now, this is a big, 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 big energy for you because this is all about your unions, your partnerships, and your significant relationships. When you have Venus and in aligning with Mercury, this is about your thoughts, I believe. Okay, I told you a little bit about, like, if you watch the full moon reading, I told you guys that there are two different types of energies for Scorpios, because Scorpios are very complex creatures. You're ruled by two different planets. You're ruled by Mars, which is in retrograde, conjunct with Saturn right now, and it is an immutable T-square, and it is whatever's going on in this point of contention is being expanded by Jupiter. And then there's Pluto. Pluto is trining this glorious event, and Pluto is it's a malefic planet, but it has the possibility to provide you with ultimate power, personal power. And I believe that some of you guys are finding your voice. You're finding your power. You're finding the way to communicate effectively, finally, or to be understood, or to generate ideas that have the possibility of like a very, very long term tangible result. I believe that some of you, Pluto is involved in a glorious Earth trine this entire month, and it is being pushed forward and away from karmic cycles that no longer serve you by beautiful Neptune and Pisces, which is saying take a risk. Don't stay regimented. Don't hold back. Don't get lost in the retrograde energy of Mars, your ruler. If you have a lot more power and control when you attach to Pluto energy right now than if you attach to Mars energy. Mars is passion. And so I believe what it's trying to say is be careful what you're passionate about. Be realistic about what you're passionate about, because Saturn is going to go in there and really tweak what you're passionate about. And for some of you, if you're aligning with a mindset that you've been doing habitually for a really long time, it's something you've been passionate about for a long time that has no real longevity, I believe that Saturn may go in there and say, put up some obstacles to redirect your energy. I believe that for some of you that are caught in this beautiful harmonious trine of energy, it's about finding your voice. It's about finding your power. It's about finally expressing yourself in such a way that people understand you, which is something I think you deeply value at this point. You want your closest bonds, your significant partnerships, and your unions to be closer to what you desire. You're not going to settle for the bar is here, you're not here anymore. And I believe that for some of you, this is an expansion in thought. This is getting you closer to what you hope and idealize for your future. This is a very future-based energy. So this is a forward energy moving forward. Jupiter is going to expand growth and opportunity if you are attaching to things that have the possibility for a very long-term result. It is a very beautiful time. Significant partnerships, bonds, and unions may be the type of energy, if they're ordained, if they're a destined relationship, this energy has the ability to connect you and your partner in such a way that there's a commitment involved. There's a devotion to this at this point. It's no longer a question. Now, if some of you are habitually caught in routines and rituals, there could be something unexpected that comes up and jolts you back onto the right path, because, you know, that's a Uranian type issue when it squares off with Pluto. Pluto, don't F with Pluto and the squaring off with Uranus. Like, don't go off half-cocked. Just don't do it. You're lowering your vibration. You're going to go freaking into this mutable square with Mars, and your mind is going to play tricks on you because it's a habitual way you've been doing things for a really long time. Stop it. Focus on Pluto. Focus on a harmonious flow of energy. Focus on longevity, focus on stability, consistency, focus on personal power, maintaining it, controlling it. Focus on getting what you want, setting the bar here, and really never settling until you get what you want, because we value you. I know that Scorpios think that they're misunderstood a lot, but they're not. They're just... Sometimes what your eyes communicate is not what your words communicate, and so I think it can be a little bit confusing for people who are interpreting you, but I believe that's getting better, significantly better. We're starting to understand you. Your bonds are starting to get closer because of it, and it's really a gift from the universe. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Sagittarius, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury and Taurus aligning with Venus and Taurus. Now, when Mercury aligns with Taurus, I think that this can go one of two ways. Jupiter can expand you dramatically in this energy, and it can expand a mutable T-square, it can expand contention, or it can expand a harmonious flow of energy where you start to get on the right track. This is entirely a choice that you make. We make our own choices, and so therefore we connect to our own types of energy. What I would be very mindful of is not becoming so ego-driven that you forget the lessons you've learned in your past, that you do not respect the past, that you do not take a look at the cycles in your past and the habits and the rituals that you used to do, especially when you wanted something very superficially. You want what you want, and it's probably a pleasure-based energy. To me, this is like a coping method, an excessive lifestyle. Be careful that you don't fall into a habitual pattern of an excessive lifestyle. You're going to square off, and it's going to be expanded. There's going to be an issue that comes up, and I believe that you're going to get a little hand slapping by the universe. Saturn conjunct with Mars is going to be squaring off with Jupiter. So what's interesting about your energy is Saturn and Mars is in Sag, and your ruler is in Virgo. So there is something that you are critically analyzing, or that the universe is critically analyzing about what you identify with, the way that you propel forward, the type of attention and recognition that you like to receive. So for some of you, this could be, moving. For some of you, there is an imbalance in the way that you were raised. Maybe you didn't get enough attention, so you're out there just being an attention whore. Maybe for some of you, there's an imbalance in how much recognition you think you deserve all the time, because maybe you got a lot of attention as a kid. And so, the universe is trying to balance out that perspective if you're caught in the negative vibration. If you're caught in the elevated vibration, then what this really means is that you're setting up routines and rituals that support and elevate your life, and that propel you forward and put you on the right path, where there is discipline and there is some modesty and there is some balance. And this path is new to you. And this has everything to do with having a solid foundation. You're starting to deeply identify and be very, very hopeful about a situation where maybe you're moving or buying a home. Maybe some of you are, idealizing, like maybe home shopping. For some of you are thinking about, remodeling your house to where you identify a little bit better with the way that it reflects upon you, or that maybe you're looking at a different lifestyle and you're trying to, really honestly be realistic. I think the key in this energy for Saturn not to come in and whoop your butt is just don't be idealistic. Don't be overconfident. Don't be overindulgent. All of those things will lead you to an expansion of Jupiter, and Jupiter can be benefic, but it can be hella malefic in your life if you're caught in a square. Be mindful that your choices are modest, and that the word balance comes to mind between home and family, the lifestyle you want, the choices that you make regarding home and family, and the choices that you make regarding your career, life path, destiny. Be mindful of that. To me, the past is something very significant to say about this mindset that needs to be this reflective cycle that you're in. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, Capricorns. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury and Taurus aligning with Venus and Taurus. Now, there's a couple different ways this energy can go. I'm actually kind of happy that it can go two ways. It can be an extremely harmonious flow of energy in reflection, or it can be a very malefic source of energy for you, depending on how Jupiter wants to, if Jupiter expands this situation, this reflective cycle, I believe that there's going to be a realization that comes out of this that may not make you feel all that good. So let me give you, for instance, this entire event is going to it's going to quincunx Mercury and Venus. And so if that happens, what I think is important to, let me see, I just looked at the energies, and I think what this has more to do with, yes, you're right, there's definitely two ways it can go, but what I think is so interesting about these opposites in energy, there's like this mutable T-square, quincunxing the entire alignment, and then there's this grand fire trine energy as well, that is being influenced by your ruler as well, Saturn. So, and Saturn right now is in retrograde. It's conjunct with Mars, and it's you want to talk about the world's most reflective cycle. You are in a state of reflection. This is an accumulative energy for you. This energy is about working through something that is very, very very fated for you to work through. This is a fated time for you where what you're really doing is going through the cycles in your life and releasing yourself from cycles. And to do that, there's a lot of resistance. These are habitual cycles. So these cycles take a little bit of devotion to get through. So then what we have to do is we have to elevate what we value. And how we value it and why we value it. We have to really analyze that concept. So we critically take a look at it, which is why your ruler is going to be caught in this mutable square with Jupiter, which is in Virgo, that critical energy that's allowing you to take a look at this. It can make you feel vulnerable. It can make you think in such a way that you kind of are doubtful about some of the choices that you make on a day-to-day basis. You may just be at that point of like, oh, I don't want to make any decisions because it seems like every little decision I make, there's a consequence. Or for some of you, this could be, I'm nervous to have conversations right now because they're not going my way, because maybe you're not in alignment. So some of the, so you're having a lot of opposition in your life, really, and believe me, these are all past based. These issues have came up before about you. But But what I think is super interesting about this is that it's aligning with Venus, and Venus is a benefic energy. So what I think this has everything to do with is you got to shake things are being, you're being awakened. It's your life is, you're shaking yourself away from habitual patterns, programming from a childhood, probably a family member, something that just really effed you up. And you're moving away from that thought process. And this is, you're taking action. Some of you, this is very, you'll take a lot of different actions in a lot of different directions before I think you figure out the action to take, the actual fated action. So sometimes you may make some really dramatic, I feel dramatic. You're trying to make some dramatic changes right now in energy that's in reflection. So I believe that you're being hyper reactive to situations because you have to understand we're in a reflective cycle. You're in a deeply reflective cycle. Your ruler is really trying to get control over some issues that have been going on for a long time. This is a absolute, if you want to talk about the number one fated conversation that you were supposed to have with yourself in this lifetime, you're in it. What are the conversations in your life? What are the conversations in your head? How are you interpreting what's going on in your life? How are other people interpreting what you are? How do they see you? If they're communicating with you, is it combative? Is it supportive? All of this stuff that's going on right now, especially if it's in a significant relationship, bond, partnership, or union, somebody that you respect, and you're having these conversations. For some of you, they could be very, very, or it could be somebody resurfacing from your past that's up your butt again. Like, whatever it is, it's faded. These are conversations that must happen for you to learn. This is like that big life lesson. This is like where you take a look at your life years from now, and that's where things changed. For every Capricorn, I believe. Even if you're not caught in contention, it's definitely a time in your life where I bet you're going to look back right now and you're going to be like, in 2016, I really got readjusted. And I believe that's what this is, a readjustment. That's all it is. No big deal. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, dear Aquarius. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury in Taurus, which is still in retrograde, aligning with Venus. Now, I told, I don't know if you've had a chance to watch your full moon reading, but I deeply believe that you have two rulers for a reason. You have Uranus and you have Saturn. Because if you just had Uranus, you would be such an erratic source of energy. Nobody could ever count on you. You wouldn't be reliable. You wouldn't even be reliable for yourself. But thank goodness you have a gift from the universe of Saturn, which is, it grounds you. It helps you maintain control. It helps keep you in perspective. Problem is the way your life is probably a little bit extreme right now. Not a little bit. Some of you very fracking extreme. Is because Saturn is trining you. Not blocking your energy, trining your energy. What's being brought forth is habitual things you always do, and there's no resistance to it. Except for other energies that are out there that are influencing this trine, this harmonious trine that you're having. So Saturn is sitting back, seeing what you do when you are not resisted by Saturn. What happens when you just identify with Uranus? Are you crazy, half cocked? You make nothing but ego-based decisions. You're all in the moment, whatever feels good. Do you not think about the repercussions? Are you having an identity crisis? Is there, do you even know what you identify with? Are you in there is no guidance from Saturn. Saturn is a malefic source. But in your situation, I think it's benefic because it takes the volatility out of Uranus. and makes you a forward-moving energy, a future-based energy. I think right now the future-based energy is not happening for you. I think what it is what's the difficulty about your situation is that you are all caught up in the moment. You have these instantaneous thoughts and you react quickly on them. And so you're squaring off right and left with Pluto. There is a lot of energy. You're very fire driven. So you're taking a lot of different actions. You're just forward, your energy, wherever you feel compelled to go, you go without hesitation. Now, problem is during a reflective cycle, this isn't the best idea, because taking action, especially if it's a new concept, will never generate a result, or you'll rethink it, or you'll redo it, or something will happen or the next retrograde cycle will come around and you'll revisit that idea, fine tune it. Whatever it is, it doesn't have the possibility for longevity. What does have the possibility of longevity is reflection, is being conservative, is focusing on longevity, and using Uranus's energy to give you the confidence to focus on something that you should. So to me, there is a past-based energy that's associated with all of this energy. The reason I say this is because your ruler, conjunct with Mars right now, in retrograde, not really, that's why Saturn's not doing a whole lot about anything. It's just sitting back. Let's see what you do with the past-based lessons. I've given you many lessons on this exact subject. Have you learned? You know, I started out subtle, but now I'm shoving it up your butt. Like, have you learned? Or are you going to do it again? It's your choice. You can, but you're going to quincunx out. You're going to quincunx out. You're going to square out, because this is not ordained. This is not a destined path for you. What is a destined path is for this to align what you value about yourself with what you are settling for, with what you deserve. You have got to get this straight. And ego is a big deal right now. You are redefining ego. You are individuating yourself from the psychological past programming that really honestly directed you, and I believe for many of you, in a really bad direction. You got lost in the message of the past. You are going, if you're super intelligent, like I know you are, when you're not ego driven and you're not fire based, when you are grounded and you are looking at things logically, because you're an incredibly logical source, you're going to be able to develop a new perspective. But for some of you caught in the lower form of vibration, what this is an absolute refusal to let go of something that you hope for. You're fixating on something that actually probably has no hope. When you have Neptune and Chiron squaring off with Saturn, you're going in the wrong direction. I mean, you are. If you are realigning what you value, so be very, very mindful of what you value and who you value and why you value it. This has a lot to do with the significant relationships, partnerships, bonds, and unions in your life. A fire energy comes to mind. Another dramatic energy comes to mind in this for you, that can really readjust the value that you place on what you want, what you desire most from a relationship. I think you're highly intuitive if you attach to where the sun's energy is at. The sun is in Taurus, in what you value most. Desire what you value most. If you're very freaking honest with yourself, even though you're caught in this Uranian moment of like instability, what you deeply value most is Saturn's values. Longevity, a sense of control. Saturn, but Saturn isn't your is that crutch you can't lean on right now. So you're having to develop this stuff on your own. And Uranus takes you away sometimes from doing that. So be very mindful, because this quincunxing energy, it's going to twist the way you view the past. And it's going to make it idyllic. Or the way that you look, or your past programming is going to interfere with a future-based mindset. You're going to stay stuck for some of you. For some of you wanting to grasp a hold of a harmonious flow of energy and ride the wave, I would dial it back, and I would be reflective, and I would hesitate to react right now. I would hesitate to make a decision. Planets, okay, first of all, Mercury's in retrograde. This is a reflective cycle. This is not, let's make decisions right now. Because if you do, they're going to be very heart-based. They're going to be past-based. They're going to be out of perspective for you. It's just some advice from me. Take it or don't. You know what? Bottom line is, if you really want to just be ego-driven, attached to the fire trine, and just let all of your passion take away every relationship that take you toward a relationship. That's absolutely, you can have discussions. You're very seductive in this energy. You're very attractive. You're very fiery. You're very energetic. People are drawn to you. It's a great source of energy if you just want a quick pick me up, but it's very quick. It's short term, not long term. Depends on what you want for your future. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, dear Pisces. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Mercury in Taurus, which is in retrograde, aligning with Venus in Taurus. Now, your ruler is absolutely sextiling this event. Do you understand that? This is a beautiful, harmonious event for you. This is where you deeply understand why you have been on the path that you have been on. There is a revelation in this energy. There's a way that you can take a look at this and decipher the message extremely easy. You are very blessed to have this, by the way. This is about bringing some of your most significant relationships, bonds, the desire and the hope for your significant relationships and bonds much closer, much more realistic. You might be able to get this, as I guess what I'm trying to say. What I want you to do is to not idealize anything. Stay real. Open your eyes. I have some significant energy in Pisces, and my eyes are painfully wide open right now. And I believe that some of other Pisces' eyes are as well. Painfully open to what they identify with, what they want, what they think they deserve, what they value. For you, it's to be understood. It's for you to be understood on a daily. It's for that significant partnership, union, bond, to enrich your life daily. You don't need these half lives in relationships. This is about, the day-to-day task, doing something with somebody and enjoying it. It pleasing you. Take a look at your significant partners. Who pleases you the most daily? Who's good to you daily? Who understands you? When you need somebody to go to, who is it that you go to and they understand you? They know you. They see you. Who sees you? Not who idealizes you. Who sees you. That's very important in this energy. That person will walk down the right path with you. The person you idealize or you think you want, or in the past you wanted, and the habitual type of person that you chose. See, what you're moving toward is the type of partner that appreciates this new sense of self and enhances your life and enhances you to such a degree that you you're grounded daily with this person. They're not up in the clouds. They're realistic. They ground you. They are the opposition of you, and they ground you, and they keep you at a level that you can start to make choices that are will have a much greater return. The longevity. This will ground your thoughts daily. This is very important. I love Pisces. My son's a Pisces. My mom and dad was a Pisces. I am incredibly influenced by a Pisces. All my best friends have been Pisces. I'm going to tell you one thing that I know about every single Pisces. They get just too idyllic. And then they get hurt. And then they regress. And then they hide. That's just what they do. Some of them in addiction. Some of them in their thoughts. Some of them in their habits. Some of them in their mind. They get lost. Lost in the desire. They identify with the desire, the idealistic desire, the dream. But this is where reality meets up with what you want. See, the universe is trying to get you closer to what you want, what you deserve, and give you what you deeply value. But before that happens, you have to have a revelation in the fact that what you deeply want, what you deeply deserve, is to be understood daily, to be involved in a relationship, a significant partnership bond union, where you're you, not the you that everybody wants you to see, not a mutable source, you're just you. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow.